Time for your Tuesday stand-up. That is Tuesday, right?
It's Tuesday.
I don't know what
It's
day
November 14th. Wow. Where has this
November
year gone
14th.
by?
Yeah, good deal. So today, what do we want to talk about? Recently, a giant mortgage company that you might have never heard of, I include myself in that group, Mr. Cooper, was attacked, and it's been interesting to watch it unfold. But one of the things that I saw yesterday that sparked some thoughts, and it's the center of today's conversation, is there have been a number of class action lawsuits now brought against Mr. Cooper to based off of the fact that people are upset and people are blaming them for not putting in proper cybersecurity controls and blaming this attack and all of the damages from this attack on negligence. Yuri, what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm reading a comment that the company underlines that the incident will not affect loan terms and that the rates and fees will not be impacted. Dang it. I was hoping maybe the rates would go down for customers impacted by this attack, but that seems to not be the case. Look, we talk about this all the time, right? Cybersecurity is a business problem. Oftentimes, boards of directors and management think, oh, well, it's just a technical or IT problem. And that's not the case, right? And, taking this a little bit further, the cost of a breach is real. Like in this case, right? They had to take down their phone systems, their websites. Users could not log into their portal. So it has a tangible material impact on business operations, right? So, Brian, in your mind, like, what are some of the costs of a breach?
Well, I think the big thing in this case is there are some standard costs always associated with the breach, but this one really hit me harder because I had that realization of like, oh, they're getting sued now. So even if they win these lawsuits, they're going to spend a significant amount of time and money on lawyers, on preparing to defend themselves, on writing statements to courts. I think the article that I saw said there were 4 different lawsuits that were brought against them in the last day or two. So think about that. How many attorneys do you need to go defend yourself against 4 different class action lawsuits? And how much time and energy is that going to take away from business activities that would have actually furthered your business mission and helped you achieve your business goals and your business outcomes that you're trying to achieve? Now you're going to take all that energy and time and resources and go defend lawsuits. Like that's significant.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is, again, a breach affects things like business operations. So now the entire management team is focused on fighting these lawsuits, right? I also noticed that, Mr. Cooper, that there's a suggestion that PII, personally identifiable information, was stolen, including social security numbers and user details. So, there's a risk that this attack can have additional ramifications for some of its customers. And one of the notes that's made in this article is Mr. Cooper notes you should update your passwords frequently and with increasing complexity. But again, right, this is like the damage has already been done, right? It doesn't matter how complex your password was for your Mr. Cooper account. It sounds like your PII has been stolen. So I think this is going to unravel over the next few months and potentially impact Mr. Cooper in a very negative way.
Maybe it's just me, but I don't feel like taking security advice from somebody that's just been hacked. Right. Thanks, Mr. Cooper, but I'll figure it out on my own from here.
I think it was it Equifax or Experian, one of the big credit monitoring bureaus that were hacked, and then the competitor said, "Oh yeah, well, you really should, based on this hack, you really should come sign up with us to make sure that we are monitoring your credit. And it's like, well, your competitor just got compromised. What makes us think that you won't get compromised, right? So you're spot on there, Brian. Let's see. I mean, I think the other thing is cyber insurance costs increase with any cyber breach, right? So if you've been attacked, you can only imagine that the cost to clean your systems, to get proper legal representation, right? Brand reputation, those costs are huge. And I think you said, Brian, 5 to 10 million was what they mentioned would be the cleanup costs.
Yeah, Mr. Cooper has said that they're going to spend an unanticipated $5 to $10 million this year, specific to this attack. So, and that was just hiring additional consultants, updating or buying new software, like just the expenses to get right from this attack. That might include things I know I've seen in the past. Companies have offered like credit monitoring, or they might do something like that. I'm not saying they are doing something like that, but I know companies in the past have offered different services in addition to when there has been PII that could potentially cause credit issues for customers. So there might be some additional spend related to making customers whole.
Yeah, and that's probably not including the lawsuit costs, right?
That was not including the lawsuit costs. Yeah. So now you have to imagine, again, I saw four, they had said there were at least 4 different lawsuits. Go get some lawyers, and you're going to need a bunch of them because you got 4 different lawsuits you're defending against.
Yeah. So I guess our takeaway today is, again, cybersecurity is a business issue. It's not purely an IT or technical issue. There are controls you need to put in place. There are best practices. There are good standard hygiene, practices you need to put in place. But you need to make sure that your board, your management understands that this is a business issue. And it's on security professionals to communicate that to management and to educate them. So make sure you have those discussions with your management team. And yeah, well said. When you start to relate cybersecurity to business revenue and business cost, it becomes more meaningful, and ears will start to open. And I like your point that you made at the beginning, that cybersecurity is not an IT or a technical issue. Yeah.
It's really it's a business issue. It's a revenue issue. It's a cost issue. And when you look at it in that light, more people will start to pay attention that are not just us tech nerds in the back office. Yeah.
Well, and especially when you start talking about firewalls or encryption or IPsec this, IPsec that, switches, management has no idea what you're talking about. Their eyes are just going to glaze over. So you need to talk to your managers in business terms, in terms they can understand. Otherwise, it's like, oh, well, security is a cost center. Here's some money, go buy some firewalls and call it good, right? We're secure, right? And that's not true, right? Because there's a lot more to it than just technical controls. And you can't always just throw money at something that requires, human effort, additional resources, time, monitoring, etc. So, yeah. So I'm totally with you there. Cool. Well, that does it for today's stand-up, and we will see you guys tomorrow.